Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So basically today I wanted to talk to you about sweaty hands. It's just something I wanted to talk about, share with you guys like my experiences and like my thoughts on it and things like that can help, and obviously other things that can stop it. If you enjoyed this video as well, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe before you leave. It's basically like sweaty hands slash sweaty feet is basically called like hyperhidrosis. I actually get sweaty hands and I get sweaty feet as well. I know it sounds disgusting, but it's just something that I've always had for like years and years and years. To be fair, like I don't even remember like the first time it actually happened. I just remember having it from a child to now that I'm 24, and it hasn't really stopped. Oh my gosh, like when I was younger, like I'd be at church and there's like a point in the mass where you basically like have to shake each other's hands and show each other signs of peace and stuff. And like in the lead up to it, like for example, like I'd be kneeling down on the floor and stuff, I'd be resting my arms on like the side of, on the like the edge of the bench in front of me, and I'd just be going like the whole mass, like literally I would be like prepping myself just for that point. There'd be times as well like I'd grab like the sheet for like the schedule of like the maths and stuff, and I'd just be like fanning my hand, or I'd be going like this. Like literally all of these things I'd be doing like during the mass. I'm sure people looked at me thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? And then literally like it'd be like first handshake, okay fine. Second handshake, oh girl. Literally by the third shake I'd be like, oh shit bitch. From then on I'd just be like, just because of the fact that I didn't want to shake someone's hand, and it's just like even going for like interviews and stuff. There was one time I was going for an interview for like Michael Kors basically, and it was a couple years ago. I was literally just sitting there and like I don't even think about it, it literally just happens. Like obviously now that I think about it, it happens. But there's times where it's dry and it's completely dry and stuff, I'm like, oh thank God. Literally that time when I was going for that interview for Michael Kors, I was literally sitting there at reception and I was just like and literally the woman at reception was just staring at me like, what the fuck are you doing? It was just so embarrassing. Literally, like I said, like there's times when it's completely dry and it's fine, but there are times where literally I just can't help it. Like even with Johnny, like thank God it's not affected any of my like past relationships or my current relationship, so I'm happy for that. But I know in some people's cases like it can be a lot worse than my case. Just to show you as well, like this is basically what it will look like. At times when it's dry it looks like this, and then there's other times where it's completely like soaking, and there's times where literally it will be like the space of like 5 seconds and it looks like this. There's times in literally like the depth of winter and it'll be like January and it's freaking snowing and my hands will literally still be dripping wet. No word of a lie, like the back of my hand here will be dry as hell, crusty. This side, on the other hand, is literally, I don't even know, like it is just so wet. I can literally like cream the other side of my hand with it. I know that sounds disgusting and I'm so sorry, but like I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be real, and that is literally like how I cream my hands in the winter. Oh, that is so embarrassing, but that's literally what I do, guys. I don't understand, why is my nose so itchy? But those are literally like the most embarrassing things that have like really ever happened to me. Like there's been meetings that I've gone for as well, and like, oh my God, actually no, there was one time I was meeting one of the designers. I think it was for like Galvan or something. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Galvan. Like she was shaking everyone's hands and stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, it's getting to me. And my hands were literally starting to get really, really wet. And I was like, crap, wipe it, Renil, wipe it, she's coming. So I literally just started wiping my hands, and then she put her hand out to shake my hands. I was like, okay, it doesn't feel that bad. So I shook her hand and I was like, sorry, I just moisturized. And she was just like, oh, it's fine. You can tell like the shade in her face, but she didn't do it like, oh my God, like your hands are disgusting. But yeah, you can just tell there was shade in there. Like there's other times obviously like I've shook people's hands and I'm just like, you know when you're just like smiling and they're smiling and you're like, oh, I can feel the sweat in your hand. But there is nothing I can do about it. I don't know if it's like something in the mind or like if it's just something that happens like in the body and stuff. Like I don't know if it's awkward like socially if like someone shakes out your, like puts their hand out to shake your hand and stuff. Say it's like an interview and they put up their hand to shake you and you're like, oh sorry, I really suffer from really sweaty hands. Like, is that rude? yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, so these are some of the things that, like, some of them I've tried, some of them I've heard about, some of them I haven't actually tried yet and I would like to do. But yeah, these are some of the things that basically, like, well, that I've heard and seen and tried and want to do. Okay, so the first thing that I do basically is, instead of like washing my hands with like warm water and like those like pumpy hand washes and stuff, like I don't use that. I always wash my hands with cold water. Sometimes I will let it run under run under the tap with cold water, and I will wash it with a bar of soap. Bar of soap literally dry out your hands, and obviously for someone that has sweaty hands and stuff, that will really help you. Obviously, like, if the back of your hands are quite dry, you can like moisturize like this, but like literally just don't touch the palm of your hands. So yeah, bar of soap and cold water. So the second thing, like, I actually went to the doctors for when I was younger, and they tried to recommend this, and I tried it for a while and I totally just discarded it because it so basically I went to the doctors and they recommended like antiperspirant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. So I tried it and I sprayed it literally like all over my hand. Obviously I sprayed it from like a distance and stuff, but like, you know them girls that lift up their arm and they're like, they have like vest tops or something on and they lift up their arm and they've just put on deodorant and you get those like white lines and stuff. Out of my hand. Trust me, it's not the one that you want to do. I've tried hairspray. It gets all sticky after a while when your like hairspray starts to melt from the sweat. So yeah, antiperspirant and hairspray, don't use. Okay, so there are other things that I've heard about, and it's literally like, there's these like oral like tablets like that you can put in your mouth, obviously, and you take them. I'm not sure how often, but apparently they have really bad side effects and stuff. I'm guessing with like indigestion and like other things, but I just heard really bad reviews about them, so I'm not even going to try them, and I don't recommend you guys trying these either. So yeah, the next one is basically like something that I've actually wanted to do. I've done my research on it. I basically want to do it. The only thing is it does cost a lot of money, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. It basically says here, hands cost about 350 to 600 pounds. Did I mention what it is? I don't remember. Botox? Well, it's Botox, but yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it. Feet cost 350 to 700 pounds. And like, I'm not being funny, but it literally lasts for like 3 to 6 months. Depending on your situation and how sweaty your hands get, or feet, you're going to need to pay for this every 3 to 6 months. Like the lowest that it says, which is 350 pounds, like every 3 to 6 months is expensive. Yeah, I don't know, like it may be something I think in the future, but right now, girl, I don't have the funds. They basically put like an iodine starch like powder on your hands, and like it's like a white powder, and like it will start to turn black on wherever like the sweat produces. It's just like an indication for them, just so they know like where really to put it. They do it like every 1 centimeter or 1.5 centimeters in the hand, and they'll do it in the fingers as well, and on the side of the fingers, because obviously that's where you will sweat. They put you under like a local anesthetic and they just like numb the area, obviously, but they don't really go far in because they don't want to stop the muscles in your hands from working. Because obviously like when they do normally put Botox in your face, obviously that's like, it will stop the muscles from moving. Obviously like any of these procedures and stuff, like guys, please do really think about it. Like it's been years and I'm still thinking about it, so like don't rush into anything if you are going to get anything done, and yeah, just be careful. But yeah, just for the record as well, Botox for hyperhidrosis is basically like the go-to option if you was to go to a surgeon. The other option, on the other hand, is what I'm going to talk about now. Surgeries will only recommend this if you have like the worst of hyperhidrosis. If it's like my case, or maybe even a bit worse than mine, like they will not recommend it, only because of the fact that it is non-reversible. Like one of the side effects that I've heard about it is like you'll excessively sweat from somewhere else, because obviously if you're blocking the sweat glands in your hands, you're going to excessively sweat somewhere else. It might be your underarm, it might be your back, it might be in between your chest, or it might even be your forehead and your face. And obviously like it can go really wrong, because they're going to have to snip a cord that triggers the sweat in that area. So like I do not recommend it, and I'm actually being serious about this. Like I really don't recommend it, and I don't think any surgeon recommends it either. So it is like a last resort for hyperhidrosis. So yeah, just please be careful. And basically, like the last like solution to that helps it, I wouldn't say antibacterial gel. Antibacterial gel actually kind of makes it worse, so I don't recommend that. What I do recommend is if you get like alcohol wipes. Alcohol wipes that are for your hands, they work for a certain amount of time because it kind of like dries out your hands and stuff. So yeah, basically to sum up this video, do not get your sweat glands removed. Botox is the most recommended, but obviously like I said, think about all these things before you do them. And alcohol wipes work just for a few hours or so. Bars of soap and cold water. Don't take oral pills, and do not use antiperspirant on your hands because it just makes it look all clammy and like clotted cheese and stuff, and it's not nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click that subscribe button, which will be on this side. Yeah, just make sure you click it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.